Yeah. Do you like financials in general? Do you like Canadian financials more? What is it about those names that you're hot on right now?
You know, they have pretty good fundamentals, the Canadian banks at the moment. The Canadian economy has done pretty well. They actually stemmed the tide pretty well during 2008 and coming out. And they've done pretty well. And the banks, as a result, have done pretty well. Both of those names have very good dividend yields at the moment. So even though we're in a market decline, you get paid to wait. About a 4% dividend yield for both banks there. Strong fundamentals. So we think they're a pretty good value. You could see a little price appreciation there after this dip if their dip is a little bit more prolonged.
I know you've got a couple of funds with dividend strategies. Is that as important now? I've talked to some people who think the dividend play is over.
You know, dividends, it's funny, count for about 44% of the historical average market rate of return. Markets have given investors about a 10% annualized rate of return over the last 100 years, but 44% of it, 4 or 5%, comes from the dividend long term. So really you have to have both price appreciation and the dividend working to your advantage.
Do you like financials overall? Other banks obviously pay dividends. In the U.S., we're waiting for some dividend improvement among some of the banks hit hard during the crisis. But do you like the financial sector, or is it those two in particular? You know,
financials have done well as a sector right now. Asset management has done well, and banking in general has done well. But you know, these are two banks in particular we think are timely now based on their fundamentals and where they're trading.
Another stock you like is Ford. Is that a play on the consumer?
You know, Ford is very strong. They have a really good revamped lineup. They came through 2008 and 2009, didn't take any money from the government. They leveraged their brand instead. They came out with great product. F-150 sales are up 31% year over year. They make about $10,000 to $15,000 per truck. So that's very good. They're up 14% year over year on sales. And I think really the consumer, you see a lot of Ford product on the road now, and I think people are really starting to like the brand in general.